He knew how to be kind. He just stopped. I want you to think about the last time you were going through something really hard. Maybe you lost a job. Maybe a family member got sick. Maybe you just had one of those weeks where everything felt like it was falling apart. Now, what did your partner do? Did they show up for you? Did they hold you? Did they ask the right questions? Or did they suddenly not know how to do any of that? Did they shrug? Get uncomfortable? Say something like, "I don't know what you want from me," and somehow make your pain feel like their inconvenience? If that second scenario felt familiar, stay with me. Because what I'm about to explain has a name. There is psychology behind it. And once you understand it, you'll start to recognize the pattern clearly. It's called emotional weaponized incompetence. And it may be one of the most quietly damaging dynamics in long-term relationships. Not because it's dramatic, not because it's obvious, but because it's designed to look like nothing. Today we're going deep. We're talking about the psychology of partners who seem to forget how to be supportive, what may be happening in their minds, why this pattern develops, and most importantly, what it does to the person on the receiving end. This video is for the people who have been made to feel too needy. For the people who stopped asking for support because asking felt worse than suffering in silence. Let's get into it. Chapter 1. What is emotional weaponized incompetence? Let's start with the basics, because this term gets thrown around a lot online, and most explanations stay surface level. Regular incompetence? We all have it. There are things I'm genuinely bad at. Areas where I need to grow. That's human. But weaponized incompetence is different. It's when someone consistently uses their apparent inability as a way, consciously or unconsciously, to avoid responsibility. You've probably heard of it in the context of chores. The partner who loads the dishwasher wrong so many times that eventually you stop asking them to do it. But what we don't talk about enough is how this plays out emotionally. Emotional weaponized incompetence is when a partner consistently demonstrates an inability, or unwillingness, to offer comfort when you're distressed, ask how you're doing, and genuinely listen, hold space for your pain without redirecting it to themselves, respond to vulnerability with warmth instead of irritation. Remember what matters to you emotionally, and here's the key distinction. They are not incapable in all contexts. The partner who claims they don't know how to be supportive may show empathy toward friends, coworkers, or even strangers. They may have shown it to you earlier in the relationship. So what changed? There are typically 3 explanations, and we're going to unpack all 3. Chapter 2. The 3 types of emotional incompetence. Type 1. The unconsciously avoidant partner. This person feels genuine discomfort around emotional intensity and has never learned how to regulate it. They may have grown up in a household where emotions were dismissed, mocked, or ignored. So when someone gets emotional, their nervous system shifts into discomfort or shutdown. They're not necessarily cruel. They're often overwhelmed. When you come to them in pain, they may try to immediately fix the problem, shut down and withdraw, become irritated because your emotions trigger their anxiety. Over time, you may find yourself comforting them about how hard your emotions are for them to handle. That reversal is exhausting. Type 2. The selectively competent partner. This partner has the capacity for emotional presence. They've demonstrated it. But over time they've learned, through relational patterns, that disengaging carries little consequence. If they check out, you handle things yourself. If they avoid you, you stop asking. If they respond minimally, your expectations shrink. This isn't always planned. Often it develops gradually. But the outcome is the same, less effort required from them. That's where the weaponized aspect emerges, not necessarily malicious, but functional. Type 3. The punishing withholder. This is the most concerning version. Here, emotional support is withdrawn intentionally during conflict or when power dynamics shift. Warmth returns when things are calm or compliant. It disappears when needs or boundaries are expressed. Psychologists describe a related pattern called intermittent reinforcement, unpredictable cycles of warmth and withdrawal that can increase attachment anxiety in the receiving partner. Over time, the person on the receiving end may focus intensely on regaining connection, sometimes at the expense of their own needs. It becomes less about support and more about regaining safety. Chapter 3. The support withdrawal cycle. In attachment theory, close relationships serve as safe haven function, meaning we seek comfort from attachment figures during stress. When that comfort is inconsistently available, a cycle can develop. Stage 1. The bid you reach out. Stage 2. The miss your partner doesn't respond adequately through dismissal, distraction, or shutdown. Stage 3. Internalization. After repeated misses, self-doubt begins. Maybe I'm too much. Maybe I expect too much. Repeated invalidation can shift self-perception over time. Stage 4. Silence. You stop asking. The relationship may appear calmer, but it's built on unmet needs. Stage 5. Resentment. Unexpressed needs accumulate. Eventually, something small triggers a disproportionate reaction. But it was never about the small thing. Chapter 4. Why they used to be different. There are several psychological explanations researchers point to. 1. Early relationship neurochemistry. In early romantic attachment, dopamine and novelty increase motivation and attentiveness. Emotional responsiveness may feel more effortless. As novelty decreases, default relational habits re-emerge. 2. Security and reduced effort. Some individuals reduce relational effort once they feel secure in the commitment. Sustained emotional attunement requires energy and intention. Not everyone maintains that effort long-term. 3. Growth-based tension. When one partner grows, through therapy, boundaries, or increased self-awareness, it can destabilize an existing dynamic. If previous patterns benefited the other partner, that shift may create tension or withdrawal. Not always consciously. But relational systems resist change. Chapter 5. What this does to you. Chronic emotional non-responsiveness has psychological effects. It can increase anxiety around expressing needs. It can create hyper-independence as a protective adaptation. It can distort self-perception over time. Some therapists describe patterns like self-abandonment, where individuals suppress needs to preserve connection. That adaptation can follow someone into future relationships if not addressed. Healing involves more than leaving. It involves rebuilding internal permission to need. Chapter 6. What you can do. I'm not going to give you strategies to fix your partner. You are not responsible for someone else's emotional development. What you can do. 1. Name the pattern privately. Clarity reduces self-doubt. 2. Rebuild your support system. No one person should carry 100% of emotional needs. 3. Communicate clearly, once. Without accusation. Without escalation. Describe the impact and state what you need. 4. Observe behavior. Sustained change is behavioral, not verbal. Take the response seriously. Emotional unavailability isn't always malicious. But when it becomes a consistent pattern that leaves one partner unsupported, it matters. You are not too needy. Human beings are wired for connection. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who may need language for what they're experiencing. And in the comments, when did you first realize something wasn't right? I'll see you in the next one.